Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am here to review The Northman. With this, guys, here's the premise. Very simple, because you've seen the film before. Even before you actually go watch The Northman. But, story goes, basically, we have a king, we have a queen, we've got his son. He's gone to war, he's come back from war, and he's injured. And he's realised that, this injury I might not get through. And, son, you're going to have to, pick up the reins and become king and take over. And if this happens, you have to be ready. Gets him ready, lets him go through a weird, crazy type of ritual. Go through the ritual, and in the process of after that ritual, he ends up dying. Why? Because his brother, the king's brother, decides to kill him to take the kingdom. Sounds familiar? We'll get to that. Then, the son has to die. Son eventually escapes and survives. Obviously goes out into the world, becomes the great man that he needs to be, goes on his hero journey, and then he gets his vengeance that he wants because of his father's death in the beginning. Story sound familiar, like I said earlier? Yes, it does. Because we have seen this film in the original film that it came from, which is Hamlet. Shout out to Shakespeare. We've also seen this in The Lion King. We've also seen this in Beowulf. We've also seen this in Gladiator. Like, all different instances coming from the original story. We're also seeing in these stories, and we also see it in The Northman. But the difference is that instead of it coming from where in a different way of story, it's from the perspective of the Norse mythology. So with the kings and queens of Odin and Thor and before Christ. But even though Christ's reign in Christianity is kind of mentioned in the film, it's a little bit before that. This is The Northman. As a film, it looked really good. The fighting, slow and methodic, wasn't quick. It was like bang, it was like bang, it was like blocking it. It was like, and Alexander Skarsgård, which is the lead in this film, like the training that he did for this film must have been intense, because everything was like hard. Every time he fought, every time he hit something, every time he got hit, it was like very aggressive every single time. And even in the acting, it was aggressive. The way he spoke, the grunting, like everything. But look, that's just with him. Look-wise, it looked great. The use of black and white, loved it. When there was a past sequence or a ritual sequence, it was in black and white. Some fighting was in black and white. There was like a situation with, like, it reminded me of a boss battle like in God of War or something, where Alexander Skarsgård had to gain a sword to get his vengeance against his uncle, in a sense. That scene looked like a boss battle that you had to defeat to gain this sword to continue your journey. And again, it was used with shadow, it was used black and white, really good. So those instances when it got black and white, really good, loved it. Then there is a crisscross, double cross. I'm not gonna spoil it in this review, but when you do watch it, you're gonna see it. I'm just giving you the heads up on it, and it's very. You feel like you feel like that once you get to that little bit of the story. The ending was something I thought would be happy, just happy, but it's happy and it's sad. You see, the hero has to take two paths. It's either this way or that way. But he decides to take both. And he achieves both. And you'll see that happen once you eventually watch the film. And it's a good ending, but I was just really surprised. I was so shocked. I was like, oh no. I felt like that. Other things that I really enjoyed about the film, I loved it felt like different chapters. It felt like different chapters of a like book or something. Like every time it went to this part of the film, it mentioned it. When it went to another part of the film, it mentioned it. Like when it mentioned the Iceland, when it mentioned somewhere else, it just faded to black, had the name at the bottom, and it kind of had North writing on top, and it looked really good. It like separated each chapter together. So like I say, it kind of felt like a book. So we were going through chapters of his whole story and seeing where he's excelling. Like I really did like that of the story as well. Enough witchcraft in the film. Witchcraft is from the beginning to the end. The way the witchcraft is shown, it's not like really bad, but it's showing the story where I'm helping you and I need an information, and it helps the storytelling when we get the witchcraft. But the witchcraft in the beginning with the dad, with his dad and himself, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of weird, bro. That looked weird. But the witchcraft after that, it always shown in a way where we're pushing the story forward, and you need to know this because this is gonna help your journey. Like this, I liked also in the Northman. But as a whole, for a score, and I don't score the films, it's 10 out of 10. For a phrases I like to give, this is a awesome film. Absolute. Like really entertaining, really good. The mythology was nice. The look of the film was good. I can't say, like, you know, people were saying, and it's even in on the poster, like, you know, this is the 2022 Gladiator. Is it? I don't know, but what reminds me of Gladiator is the fact that it's got quotes. I'd have to watch this film a lot of times, but it has things and quotes that you're like, bars. That sounds good. Yeah, like it gives you all of that. Because when I was hearing certain things, I was like, that sounds nice, or that sounds good, or like, you know, you have to kind of twing your ears to see, what are they saying? But it sounds so nice. And it sounds worse than it is as well. Like it sounds like, you know, when you're putting somebody down, you hear it even in the words. Like the language is the language use, I should say, really good. I loved it. I love that as well. So that would be my review for the film. I recommend go and watch it. Definitely have your opinion on it. Come and watch my movie review. And you can comment down below and tell me what you liked or didn't like about it. Or if you felt the same way and like, you know, this film was good. Yeah, I agree with you, Rhys. It's true. You know, comment down below. Like and subscribe. And more movie reviews coming soon. Later, guys.